Hi, I'm Critical, and welcome to IEM. So last year I did a fried chicken burger shootout. I ate like 12 fried chicken burgers. I didn't eat all of them. I shared them with my friends. But yes, I did a fried chicken burger shootout. But after that, every single one of you came up to me and said, hey, you should do another one. The fried chicken burger ranking round 2. No, this year we're gonna do a hamburger shootout. A hamburger ranking list. Before we do anything, we have to first define what a hamburger is. One of my burger idols, George Mos, defines it as ground beef served on bread somehow. And that's pretty much it. So a lot of things can be a hamburger, which is why I have to narrow down the criteria a little bit. So we're gonna do a hamburger fast food ranking list, which means we have to define two things. One, what is a hamburger, and second of all, what is fast food? My own personal litmus test for fast food is that if a waiter comes to your table and takes your order, it's no longer fast food. So that pretty much narrows the criteria a lot, but then we still have a lot of burgers to eat. So we have to narrow it even further and kind of put our foot down and say one burger per chain. Kind of. So the way that we select that one burger is that we're going to do one signature burger. How we're going to determine that is going to be based on whether or not the name is on the burger, whether or not it's a trademark on the burger, etc. Basically, we're going to just select one burger from each chain, the most important burger. Now we have to determine what exactly makes a good hamburger a good hamburger. Of course, everything starts out with the patty. I love a patty with a good sear, a good crust, the Maillard reaction, what I want to call it, that extra surface that makes it real nice browned and crunchy, if you want to call it that as well. Basically, you want heterogeneity in your patty. You want to make sure that yes, the outside is nice and colored, but the inside's juicy. And then we have the bun, which is kind of hard to determine because there are many different kinds of buns that can go on a hamburger. The way I just see it is it has to be fluffy, it can't be rock hard, it can't be too crumbly as well. You know what a hamburger bun is, I know what a hamburger bun is. It just has to be fluffy, it has to taste good, right? The third criteria is just the general freshness of the ingredients, the vegetables, the patty, the bun, everything doesn't have to, you know, they just needs to be fresh. You don't want to eat into something and it's soggy or it feels like it's been frozen for too long. All those things are makes up for a very good or very bad burger. And the last criteria is the most subjective one because it just takes everything all into account, just the flavor synergy, how all of the ingredients come together to form one harmonious burger, and whether or not the taste of that burger is good. Hard to explain beyond that. So we're going to be testing 8 different chains. We're going to be doing McDonald's, Burger King, A&W, Mos Burger, Shake Shack, Five Guys, Fat Burger, and Carl's Jr. And we're going to rank all of their signature burgers all in one concise ranking list according to one guy, which is me. So without further ado, let's go. McDonald's needs no introduction. Whether you call them Macs, Maccas, Mickey D's, you know. There's probably one near you. So at this point, I wouldn't waste any exposition time talking about that. But I think the thing that most people would debate on is what exactly is their signature burger. After all, you have the Quarter Pounder or the Big Mac. You could make a case for either one of those. And while I could debate about this for an entire day, I'm just gonna put my foot down and not put my foot down and just get both of them. So let's talk about the Quarter Pounder first. It's one of their staples. It is basically a cheeseburger. Comes with onions, ketchup, pickles, cheese, patty, cheese, and of course bread, the bun. It's a very classic cheeseburger style Quarter Pounder. Literally means a quarter pound of meat going on in there. I personally don't like to put ketchup on my burgers, but in this case, it's a classic. I will begrudgingly accept it for now. What can I say? A very classic taste. The ketchup kind of overpowers the entire flavor profile. But at this point, you're buying a cheeseburger for the cheeseburger taste. You don't buy it and then remove the ketchup from it. It doesn't work that way. Patty-wise, it's dry. It's not well seared, but it's a very classic McDonald's style. You know what you're getting to when you buy a McDonald's burger. This is not a good burger, but it's not a bad burger. But that's just the Quarter Pounder. Of course, let's move on to the Big Mac. The Big Mac is of course another staple of McDonald's. We have bun, patty, shredded lettuce, Big Mac sauce, bread, patty, cheese, shredded lettuce, Big Mac sauce, and bun. It's a lot of things, and yet the amount of meat that goes onto a Big Mac is pretty much the same as the amount of meat that goes into a quarter pounder. Oh, I forgot, it also comes with pickles. That the Big Mac is famous for being very pickle forward. So let's try it out. Yes, it is pickle forward. There is a lot of acidity going on in the burger, but the thing that really sticks out to me is not necessarily the pickles, it's more the bread. There's a lot of bread going into the Big Mac, and I personally don't like that. It throws off the balance of meat and carbohydrates in the whole burger situation here. So in terms of McDonald's, you know exactly what you're getting. There's no reason why this should be in the video, but I'm doing it because it's kind of an obligation anyways. So in light of their status, I hereby pronounce the quarter pounder and the Big Mac to be the benchmark. Not necessarily a benchmark in standard, but more a benchmark in that you know exactly what you're getting to. It's McDonald's. So if the clown is number one, then the king is number two. Welcome to Burger King. Everyone should know what the Whopper is as well, but self-confession, I've never actually ordered or eaten a Whopper my entire life. Every single time I go into Burger King, I always order something else, like whatever promotional item. I think usually it's like the turkey bacon, one of those things. Not that I go to Burger King that often. So this would honestly be one of you guys' first impressions, first look at me eating the Whopper for the very first time. Now, what exactly is a Whopper? It's actually a fairly simple burger. There's only just a patty, pickles, shredded lettuce, tomatoes, and mayo. It is probably the most simple burger out of everything I've eaten today. So let's just get right into it. Alright, so I have missed out one ingredient, and that is very clearly barbecue sauce. There is a lot of barbecue sauce. It is very much barbecue sauce forward. I think to a point where I think it's too much. The patty though, I think it's the strongest point of this entire burger. There is that self-advertised char grilled flavor. It's very much there. So I think in terms of patty wise, in terms of all the mainstream fast foods, I think this is the best patty, at least the most different one. Overall, this is a rather sweet burger. It is trending on the sweet side because of, again, the whole barbecue sauce situation. I personally don't think it's that bad, but you know, at this point, I'd rather have something else. So for the Whopper, let's just call it the saucer. It's very much sauce forward. If you like that, good for you. Me personally, it definitely is not gonna take top spot for that. So Burger King, Whoppers, the saucer. So now we're at A&W, which is an American chain. Actually, I don't even know what A&W stands for. Let me check. The A is for Allen and the W is for Wright. Allen and Wright, the two founders of the great, amazing A&W. You learn something new every day, don't you? But yeah, today we're at A&W to test out another institution, a staple of American fast food. For A&W, we have their signature burger. They have plenty of burgers. There are plenty of beef burgers. For example, they have like the cheeseburgers. They have plenty of other types of burgers. But there is one burger that only has their copyright sign, and that is the Mozza Burger. So naturally, we have to test that out. So in a Mozza Burger, we have two patties, a lot of sauce. Is there a cheese situation going? Yes. So there is cheese as well. This is basically a cheeseburger, but then we have the sauce. And then we have a kind of chicken crisp. I'm not sure if America is different because I'm pretty sure in Singapore, a lot of chains don't like to use bacon. I assume that this is a substitute for bacon. But besides that, it's shredded lettuce, chicken crisp, patties, bun, sauce, cheese. That's pretty much the entire ingredients in this. In terms of freshness, the lettuce doesn't seem very fresh. It's pretty much wilted. I'm not very confident about this entire burger in terms of like ingredient quality. But what are you gonna do? It's fast food. Patty is somewhat seared. There's not really much of a hard sear. You can see it's almost all grayed out. There's very little browning spots. Not the best patty, but again, I'm not expecting much out of A&W. All right, so taste test. First of all, patty is well seasoned. I don't think it's as tasteless as the ones from McDonald's, so thank fuck for that. They use actual salt in their patties. The vegetable quality is, yes, extremely low. It's not fresh. Everything is wilted, everything is soft. In terms of the vegetable situation, this is not the best. But the one thing that really pops out is the sauce. The sauce reminds me a lot of the Big Mac. In fact, the entire burger just reminds me of a Big Mac. A better Big Mac, actually. I'm not sure if the chicken crisp or the more or less the bacon substitute is doing much for me. Honestly, I think it could have done without the chicken crisp. I think it just distracts from the flavor of the patty and the sauce and whatever. Overall though, as an entire package, taste-wise, it is actually pretty not bad. It's pretty good actually. So what do I name the Mozza Burger? Well, given that it tastes almost like a Big Mac, but better, why not just call it the Bigger Mac? Not necessarily bigger in size, but definitely bigger in taste. So the Mozza Burger, the Bigger Mac. So we're now at Mos Burger, which is a Japanese chain of burger restaurants. Now, the more astute of you may know that Mos Burger actually has one of the worst ranked fried chicken burgers on my previous ranking list. It was terrible, it's horrible. I hated every single one. I couldn't even finish that goddamn burger. Now, most people would know that Mos Burger doesn't only serve fried chicken burgers, they also serve beef burgers, and they do have one signature burger called, aptly, the Mos Burger. Now, they also do have a Mos Cheeseburger, and you know, it has cheese on it, so I'm just gonna go with that as their signature burger. In terms of makeup, the Mos Burger is kind of a weird one. You have a slice of tomato, you have cheese, then you have onions, then you have mayo, and then you have the patty, and then on the side, they give you a meat sauce, and apparently you're supposed to drizzle it on top of it. It all looks kind of grotesque, to be honest. It's not a good looking burger by any means. The first thing that hits me when it comes to the Mos Burger is it's not necessarily the looks, it's the smell. The cheese doesn't look the cheese does not look very good. I'm not sugarcoating it at all. It has this kind of like artificial smell to it. I hated it. I really don't want to taste it, but we have to. So it is kind of a mess. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fine. Oh God. I'm not sure how they did it. The meat, the patty is not good. I think that one bite is enough. The patty has more of a meatball kind of texture. It's not great. The sear is not there. The taste is not there. The combo between cheese, mayo, onions, and that bolognese sauce does not work at all. It's a terrible, horrible burger. I think Mos Burger at this point is like 2 for 2. I think they might have had the worst burger on this ranking list. Oh God, it's just disgusting. I don't want to eat anymore. I think the worst part of it is literally the cheese. Yes, the combo of beef, tomatoes, mayonnaise, and onions is terrible, but I think the worst part of it is just the cheese. The cheese is probably the worst I've ever had. The taste is still there. It's just one small part of the burger, but it just tastes... no. For Mos Burger, let's literally call it the Mos Burger. I'm gonna name it the Seppuku, because I want to kill myself. All right, so that's the end of day 1. We had all of the so-called cheap shit burgers. Day 2, we're gonna eat all of the bougie stuff, but for now, we're gonna test all of the benchmarks. McDonald's, Burger King, A&W, the Mos Burger, all of these are probably chains that you in your own country would probably have eaten in your life before. Now, for those who are watching this on the new channel, hello, please continue to stay subscribed for day 2. And once everything is all done, we're gonna compile everything and gonna shoot it as an April Fool's post on the main channel, the Critical Plus channel. So yeah, see you next week. Stay alive.